and plan to have an even better weekend. So, today we are talking about the 5 video no-nos and how to fix them. So, for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Jasmine Bryant. I am a video coach for entrepreneurs, network marketers, coaches, and business owners who are trying to be more visible so that you get paid. I've been a journalist for over 30 years, and I am spending my love, my time to show you how to show up for yourself and for your customers. Because again, when you're visible, you get paid, and you're in business, usually not to be an expensive hobby. So, video is one of the most important ways that you can be seen, because if no one knows that you exist, they can't buy from you. If no one knows you exist, they can't use your services, and then you're not helping the people that you're trying to help. So, today, again, the 5 video no-nos and how to avoid them. Now, some of them you may have heard before, and that's fine, because I'm going to keep saying it until the cows come home, because some of you guys really need to focus on those and try to fix what you can. And then what you can't, of course, you come talk to me so that I can help you do it. And also, if you are just starting out, things may be a little daunting. Doing video for the first time is kind of like jumping into the deep end of the pool and not knowing how to swim. Now, I've done that before. Don't get me wrong. I have done that. So it's not always pleasant or fun. And so just a really quick housekeeping thing before we really dive in. If you are in the Facebook group, in the Fear No Video Facebook group, then please click the link that is, and let's see if that's there. There we go. So please click the link that's pinned to the top of the chat, so you can let Facebook and Restream play together. And that way I'll know who you are when you say, hey. All right. So again, that'll just let me know who's chatting. So when you pop on to say hi, I'd love to know that you're here and where you are in the world. All right. So I have my handy dandy notes as usual. So our very first one is really a twofer. It is poor lighting and bad audio. And again, this is something that I will continue to harp on, because it's something that's so incredibly fixable. You don't need to have expensive lights. You don't need to have an expensive microphone. Really, you just need your smartphone and the sun, and you have some good lighting. Just don't have the camera facing the sun, because that's bad lighting. And the reason you want to have good lighting and good audio is because if people can't hear you or can't see you, they're not going to listen to you. They're not going to watch your video. I tell this story a lot. I did a video to show you what bad lighting looks like and how to fix it. And it's still my least watched video of every video that I've ever put out in however many years I've been putting videos on social media. So that goes to show you, no one wants to see your video with crappy lighting. All right, so number 2, and these aren't really in order, so to speak. These are just kind of, as I was writing them down, what popped into my head. So number 2 is being too scripted. So you want to have an outline. Like I write, and I don't know if you can see this, but I write down what it is I'm planning to say. Because even though I know this topic backward and forward, I'm not going to do you a good service if I can't keep my thoughts in order, if I forget to tell you something that you need to know to move your business forward, to move your needle forward, if I jump all over the place, if I forget something, if I just don't do a good job, it's because I don't have a plan. And you don't want to sound like a robot, which is why you don't want to script everything out. I mean, if you're doing I don't know, like a medical or a legal demonstration, then that's a different story. Things have to be precise. But for most of us who are doing a product demo, or some sort of YouTube tutorial, or just talking about a product or a service that you have, then you don't need a full script. You are the expert. Okay, you're the expert. So you just need to have an outline to keep yourself on track. So you don't want to sound scripted. Okay, another is one of my personal favorites. It's not having a call to action. So if you don't know what a call to action is, that it's exactly what it sounds like. You are calling on your viewers to take an action. So earlier, when I said if you're in the Facebook group, in the Fear No Video Facebook group, to go to the pinned comment on the chat to click the link, that was a call to action. People need to know where to go. We all need direction. You can't assume that people are going to naturally go to your website, right? If you want to learn more about Jasmine and learn more about Fear No Video, go to fearnovideo.com. That is www.fearnovideo.com. That's a call to action. Not having a call to action in your videos is like throwing a party and not telling anyone about it and then wondering why no one showed up. You have 1,000 pounds of chips and no guests. It's because you didn't have a call to action. You didn't have an invitation. You haven't invited your people to take that next step. You haven't invited them to move forward with you. So another call to action that I have for you today is if you are not in the Facebook group, I would invite you to go because we are streaming all over Facebook, Fear No Video Facebook group, my personal Facebook page, I do believe, not Instagram today, but LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. So if you're watching on any of those platforms, then please go to the Facebook group where you get a lot of support, a lot of some golden nuggets that you don't get on my public pages. So come on and join us. We're fun. I promise. I don't think many of us bite. All right. So another no-no in video is having a crappy background. And what does that mean? That means it is too cluttered, it's junky, it's messy, and those are actually different things, right? Clutter, junky, and messy. You have like piles of dirty laundry in the back, all of your kids' toys. Now, if your brand is that, then by all means keep it. But it can be very distracting. So you want to have something that is pleasant. It's not too busy. It's inviting, and bright is always good. Like we talked about lighting just a couple of minutes ago. Now, let me tell you, my dream is to have a home with a ton of natural light flooding into the studio where I'll be. Now, I live in Florida, the sunshine state, but I have one window in my little office area, one window. So I don't have a ton of natural light, but I bought some lights. But again, I don't have a ton of natural light. So I have to create them. So when you have to create that, have your background in mind because it all works together. A lot of people love those virtual backgrounds. I'm not a huge fan of the virtual backgrounds because they don't often work well. We don't use them well when we use them. And also it's kind of like, well, what is she hiding back there? Now I'm curious. I want to know. Is it just me? Am I the only one who wants to know what's behind, their real background when they have the virtual backgrounds? I don't know. Might just be me. Okay. Let me know what questions you have as you're watching. And if you're watching the replay, then just put replay in the chat and let me know what questions come up for you because I love answering all of your questions. And you can DM me too, because not everyone wants to be public with their questions. All right. So the very last one is another one of my favorites, and it is not least, but it is not being authentic. You have to be who you are, no matter who that person is. And it sounds cheesy, right? Just be yourself. It's okay. But it sounds cheesy, but it's true. And the reason is you're not going to attract the people who you need to attract for your business, your product, or your service if you're not yourself. And I liken it to dating, right? I'll tell you, and you've probably, some of you have heard this story before, but it's hilarious. So, but it's so true. And it's so true when it comes to business. You want to be yourself. So had some blind dates. I had a year of yes, saying yes to every dude who asked me out. Most of it wasn't great. But, I had this one guy, we went out and we had a pretty decent time at dinner. It was a nice dinner. And as he's walking me to the tram, he tells me about his foot fetish, shoe fetish type deal. And wasn't expecting that. Okay. And it wasn't my thing. Now, look, I don't kink shame. Whatever you want, whatever you do, that's what you do. But for me, what he wanted wasn't okay. And had he said that in his profile, or had he said that when we were texting before we met, then we could have avoided that awkward conversation at the tram stop when he told me what he wanted to do. And I say that to say, he could have attracted the person who was into what he was into had he been himself. But he was pretending to be someone else and not disclosing all the things that he needed to disclose before going on this blind date. So think of your business, think of you showing up on camera as a blind date. You don't want to be one person on video, one person in your Facebook group, one person in your lives, and then you show up with your client, your customer, and you're not who they thought they were getting. Now they're disappointed and you've lost a sale. And you could have saved yourself time and energy, saved them time and energy by being who you are. Because look, you are the only you that has ever been and ever will be created. So just embrace it, whatever it is. Just let you be you and, reap the rewards. People will love you for who you are. And if they don't, peace out. Okay? That's my Jasmine advice for you. All right. So before we end this live, again, if you are watching the replay, just type in replay in the chat and let me know what questions you have. If you're watching live, then just please say hi, and let me know what comes up for you. And I wanted to let you know to save the date, April 25th, 26th, and 27th. Speaking of throwing a party, I'm throwing a party on April 26th, 25th, 26th, 27th. And it's a virtual party, another Fear No Video Summit, where you are going to learn how to embrace you and yourself and your audience so that you can grow bigger and bolder and stronger and just really make your life and your business much better. Oh, happy Women's Day to you too. Hi, Roxy. Okay, so just keep an eye out for that. You'll get some emails if you're on my email list. It'll be all over the place if you're in the group, but we'll have so many people. I'm having at least 21 speakers where we're going to talk about, everything from AI to business strategy. I mean, oh my gosh, so many. So if you have some questions that you're dying to know the answer to, then just let me know so that I can ask these experts, because we're going to have so many amazing experts who are going to share all of their knowledge. I've been talking to people for the past several days and it's been phenomenal. We have some great speakers for you. So I'm really pumped about that. All right. So you had your 5 video no-nos. I'll just run through them again quickly for anyone who's just popping on, or if you're like me and you just want to go straight to the end of the book. So, bad lighting and audio. The fix is natural light and your cell phone, which is your camera anyway, right? Number 2 is being too scripted, sounding like a robot. Just have an outline. And you're the expert. You know what you're talking about. So just do it. You'll be great. Number 3 is having a janky background. You don't want it cluttered. You don't want it messy. You don't want it, just chaotic. You don't want it to be distracting. Clean, if it's just a white wall, that's fine too. You don't have to have stuff. Just have it be presentable. Number 4 is not having a call to action. And you've had several calls to action in this video here. So again, another call to action is, again, if you're watching the replay, hit replay in the chat. If you're here live, say hi like my friends just did. Hi and happy Women's Day. It's exciting. And number 5 is to be you always, because you are going to attract who needs to hear your message. If they don't like what you have to say, if they don't like you, that's too bad, because they're lost. All right, my friends, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.